Welcome to this Grandma's Life podcast. I'm your host, theciaellis. Get ready to laugh, learn, and grow with me as we explore growing old in an ever changing world. One of the good things about growing old is people judge you less when you say some outrageous things. I'm getting older, and I've had a fascinating life. I also have opinions. You may not agree with those opinions, and I may not care. Even now, I am passionate about many things. I love to learn. I love quotes. I love my animals on the farm, and I care about my country. Join me as we explore loving life even as we age. And those of you on video, you can tell I am still working on lighting and how to get it where I don't have glare on my glasses. Today is October 29th, 2024. This is episode 66, and it's called Aging, Putting Up the Good Fight. First up, though, is farm happenings. Although I have to admit, some of the stuff is not actually on the farm, but that's okay too. It's been dry. It's been, I understand a few weeks ago I was talking about how wet it was and all that other stuff. We have only had a trace of rain. One night we had a trace of rain, and then a couple of nights later we had 0.1 inches of rain. And actually, we finally do have some actual measurable rain in the forecast. So I'm looking forward to that because it has been really, really dry here. I have been trying to get caught up on all my work around the house and around the farm and stuff. Softball season kicked my butt this year. They were having 4 and 5 games a week. And of course, I video them, and then I've never been trained on how to edit videos or how to catalog and keep track of your clips and stuff. So I've set up my own system, and I can't think of a better system, but it takes a lot of time to go through footage and record what was on that particular clip and then make sure that it's in a place where I can find it again when I need it and stuff. So I've got notebooks everywhere, and I've got, I've just gotta, it just takes a lot of time, and it's going to be, oh, I've got lots and lots and lots of softball footage to get out because it's not just this season that I'm working on either. I've still got stuff from previous seasons, the summer league, a competitive league last year. I've got a little bit of done of all of them, and then of course I've done a couple of highlight reels because Kenzie's trying to get into college with softball. So that really put me back, and I've been trying to get caught up on that on housework. But I have this podcast. I have another podcast. I have my main YouTube channel, and I really would like to get back to work and doing all that stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm down to one duck. I think I started the season this in the spring was 9 ducks. I mean that includes drakes, and we've had predator pressure. I believe it's a bobcat, but I'm not certain because it's an electric fence. And whatever it is getting over the fence and getting back out. And you don't even see evidence of a fight anywhere. No feathers missing and all that other stuff. But I am down to one duck. But I do have 11 ducklings that are getting older, and I'm going to be integrating them in with the rest of the birds here pretty soon. They won't be laying eggs or anything like that for several months still, but at least I finally have some. I have some ducks to add to the one that I've got, and it's kind of interesting. Once the last two were ducks, I was down to one drake and two ducks, and then when the drake disappeared, and then the other duck, once everybody else was gone, my one remaining duck quit laying eggs too. I have to admit, I don't blame her. you know I am trying to exercise more because my foot had the foot surgery had really set me back, and uh, and it's still not 100%. It may never be 100%, despite what the doctor said, because he said by a year it should be 100%, and that's like 9 weeks away. And I haven't seen a whole lot of improvement in the last couple of months, so it may never be 100%, but at least I'm not as much pain as I was, and I am exercising more, and I'm glad to be able to do that. We did get a vanity for Kenzie's bathroom. Oh, my poor husband. Okay, Kenzie, I tried to talk her into letting me a couple of years ago replace several wall panels in her bathroom and replace the vanity, in the lavatory and all that other stuff in her bathroom. She goes, "No, I don't want my bathroom messed up while I'm in it." I'm going, "All right." So then a few weeks ago, she came to me. She was going, Grandma, my vanity is falling all apart. And I'm thinking, yeah, I know. She goes, no, you don't understand. There's nothing even holding the sink up to the wall. And I'm going, okay. So I went out and bought another vanity. And then Tom's on vacation this week. He's for muzzleloading season, and he is working on. He's been going hunting in the morning and and sometimes in the evening too. And then he's been working on this. But we've been working on this vanity. Yesterday, I think we put in like a 15-hour day trying to get that vanity put in, and he worked on it off and on all day long because we got the whole vanity built and put in place, and had to work around the crazy plumbing that was up underneath that sink, and I don't know. There was just been a lot. I have footage that I'm going through and cataloging, and I'll have a video out of it here the next few days. But oh, he just couldn't quite get the plumbing right, and I think he finally won this evening, and I'm glad because he has worked hard, and I really feel bad for him. But and the new vanity is beautiful, and I mean it's just a plain white vanity, but it looks a lot better than that crappy thing that she had in there too. So I'm happy about that. I'm glad to get that done. Kenzie had another flat tire. She has a tendency to ignore her tires when they get a little bit low, and she was going through some tires. And of course, she and us only buy used tires because if you're not going to take care of the tires properly, then there's no point in buying new ones. And so she had another flat tire. The only thing is these lug nuts that they put on the Ford, what is it, Escape? No, I can't remember what it's called. Fusion. It's a Fusion. They had these lug nuts that are kind of like it's a cap that's fused onto the actual lug nut, and that is designed to keep the hubcap on. And when you have a flat tire and you need to take off the old one and you try to use a lug wrench, only thing it does is just round the corners and you can't get the tire off. And she's been stranded several times. And I thought, I've had enough of this. And I went and what my previously I had tried to buy other lug nuts that would look decent and would hold her hubcap on, but they wouldn't hold the hubcap on. And so we had to go back to her original lug nuts. But this most recent time, I thought, you know what? She has to be able to change her tires. She has to be able to function. And I bought cheap, ugly lug nuts. And then I bought hubcap rims so that, whatever you call them, hubcaps, so that she could still have pretty tires. And it didn't work because for some reason, this type of rim doesn't allow you to use those kind of hubcaps. And so she's got ugly tires. I don't care. She can at least function now. I feel bad because she's a teenager. She wants cute, and I couldn't do cute for her. But I do have functional, and she can change a tire if she needs to. She's a senior this year, and we've already done. They did some photo shoots at the school, and it's kind of funny because she was talking about some sort of wrap or something around the um the shoulder. All right, we all need dogs, and I have three. I really hope that wasn't too big of a an interruption to what I was trying to say. All right, so where was it? Oh, okay. So they have a wrap or something that goes around the shoulders of the girls. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they haven't done that since before I went to school. And and Kinsey was really upset because they had some sort of wrap or something that went around the shoulders. The only thing is that they didn't have their tops on, and they had just this wrap, and they were out in a common area where boys and girls and teachers and everybody could go by. And she's trying to pose for these pictures, and her wrap was trying to fall off, and she's going, I don't want these pictures. I thought they looked fine. But she goes, I don't want these pictures. I can see the fear in my eyes. I'm going, okay, all right. And I wasn't planning on the school pictures anyway. I may end up getting some because they end up being. She's going to do a reshoot and hopefully be able to keep her clothes on for the reshoot. But we have a lady that goes to our church. Wonderful lady. She's been doing photography for years and years and years, and she does wonderful work. And we've already scheduled one session with her in a natural setting. It's out there at the Rogers State University. Is their nature center, and we did one session there, and I think she wants to do another session with Kinsey sometime soon in another area. But the pictures she's taken so far for Kinsey senior pictures they're going to be beautiful. They're just going to be gorgeous. And I'm looking forward to it. She is on the search for colleges. It's sounding like it sounds like she wants to go to Kansas at that. It's either Kansas or Arkansas. She doesn't want to stay in Oklahoma. And I can understand her point in a way because there's several different things. One, okay, there are a couple of things to think about here. She is highly talented. She could go to even D1 school. I think she would have to do some hard work to get in there, but certainly D2, absolutely, certainly D2. But she has some confidence issues, and so she's looking for junior colleges and stuff. And she has also been told if she goes to a junior college, or something on the same level, that they will prepare her for a D1 college while she goes. And I can understand that. I can understand that logic, and whether it works or not, that's up to her. But she does not want to be in Oklahoma, and I can understand that in a way too, although it kind of breaks my heart, because she wants to spread her wings. She wants to get away from this area and see the world. I'm thinking, yeah, I understand that too. But like I said, it does break my heart because I'd like to keep her nearby. But at the same time, you know, she's grown. She's going to do what she wants to do. But so she's looking for colleges, and we're helping her to the best of our ability to help her get that done. Not on the farm. We've had a couple of interesting things happen. There's you always see the memes about the Dollar Generals and where they're all over the place. And this is no joke. We are 12 miles from Claremore, and there are 3 different Dollar General type stores between here and Claremore. Of course, there's 2 or 3 in Claremore, along with a Walmart and all the other stuff too. But the one that is here in Foyle, they keep having some pretty bad wrecks there. And you're when you're at the intersection, you go, okay, if you're paying attention at all, it shouldn't be that big an issue. But there have been some bad ones. But there was a really bad one a week ago, Sunday, and it had nothing to do with people paying attention necessarily. There was a fugitive. I think he had killed somebody in Tennessee and has been on the run all the way to Oklahoma and had stealing vehicles along the way. He had already stolen 2 other vehicles before he got to another town nearby Chelsea and stole a vehicle there. I think it was a pickup, and was blowing through Foyle and hit a family, 2 women, a mother and a daughter, and killed the daughter. She was an adult daughter, but she killed her. He killed her, and so that was a really sad thing. And that was one of the things. And we're on Route 66, and if you know anything about America at all, Route 66 is a very famous highway that goes from, I think, Chicago to San Bernardino, California. So it goes all the way across, and we always have bikers coming through all the time, trying to doing the trek. And so this guy had come down 66, and he slammed into it and killed that girl. And they did finally catch him, and he's in jail now. And then I don't think it was 2 days later, some kid tried to race a train and lost, and he got hit on at the same intersection. So that was kind of I heard just a day or two ago he actually is okay. He walked away from the wreck, but he did so much damage. Oh, his truck. I mean, yeah, the truck was like a tin can, and they actually had to do some repairs to the railroad crossing. It was such a violent crash. So that's kind of what's been happening here. We've been seeing a lot of helicopters flying over, picking people up off the highway. Oh, that's what I was going to say, that they closed Highway 66 for the one wreck, and I think they did again for that guy too. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but we've been having some light flights here. And that's all that's happening on the farm in my town. What I'm still listening to Think This, Not That by Dr. Josh Axe, AXE. I've really enjoyed this. This is my second time listening to this particular one. He's helping when you have doubts or you trying to get things together in your life or get something accomplished. He tells you how to redirect your thinking instead of going, oh my gosh, I can't do this, and this is how, and get into the anxiety of things that you're trying to do. and he tells you how to redirect your thinking so that you can focus on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I'm on my second listening. I think I might take a break from it, but I probably will listen to it a third time. It's been pretty good. And now I'm also listening to Heretics of Doom by Frank Herbert. That's I don't know. I think that's like the fourth in the series. I can't remember, but that's I've just started that one. And what I'm reading for real life is I'm still working on how to develop a powerful prayer life by Dr. Gregory Frizzell. That is a study thing, where you're looking through scriptures and taking notes and stuff like that. So even though it's a very slender book, it's been taking me a while to get through it. And the other one, my um, novel is The Europa Conspiracy by Tim LaHaye and Bob Phillips, and it's been pretty good so far too. All right, let's get to the main subject. It is it's aging and putting up a good fight. Um, I listened to A Farmer's Kind of Life with Amy Dingman. I got to meet Amy Dingman in real life a couple of years ago. Love her, love her. She writes nonfiction books, but I am particularly fond of her fiction that she writes under the pen name of Shay Ray Stevens, and I've got two of her books that I just love, and so therefore I like to listen to her podcast too. She, even though she is Farmer's Kind of Life, she has an interesting brain, and she has a tendency to take a thought into her head and twist it around, and not twist it bad. Don't get me wrong. It's to turn it around, look at it from different aspects that most of others, rest of us would not look at it in that light or in that aspect of it, and get you thinking about things. And she was talking about growing older and how some people fight it so badly, like getting Botox and just whatever. And I forgot to write down her quote. Oh no, here it is. Her quote is, aging is not some kind of battle to overcome. It's not a failure. Aging is actually a privilege, one that not everyone gets. And that is true. I believe that. I mean, because we always have the joke is, oh, getting old stinks, but then you go, well, what's the alternative? So, but yeah, aging is not some kind of battle to overcome. It's not a failure. Aging is actually a privilege, one that not everyone gets. But it has gotten me to think about my views on aging. And I'm not doing Botox or anything like that, but I am trying to stay fit. And obviously I have a long time ago embraced my gray hair. I kind of like it, honestly. And uh, so my views are just a little bit, but in her podcast, she discusses how our society encourages us to fight our age, hide our age, and do everything that we can to look and feel and act younger. And I kind of agree with I want to look and act and feel younger, but I'm not going to go through all the stuff, surgical or anything like that to do it. And but she also at the same time covered going to the doctor for every little ache and pain, and like, oh, why is my knee hurting and why is this hurting and all that other stuff, and it basically most of the time it's just us getting older. But it did really get me to thinking about my own battle with aging. I played basketball in high school and was prone to sprains, ankle sprains from landing on somebody's foot. And we just ice them, tape them up, and we went back on the court for the next game. And most of the jobs I've held over the years had me on my feet for extended periods of time. I've been a waitress. I worked in a laundromat for several years. I was a machinist for a couple of years. I've worked event booths where you have to stand for 12, 14 hours a day and stuff. Farmers markets, just all of this stuff. I've done a lot of standing and also heavy lifting and work and stuff. So I've had plenty of desk jobs too. But the job that I had that did the most damage to my feet was a few months that I was a meter reader. Loved that job. I loved that job. I loved being outside. Um, I was in Tulsa and I just moved back from California, so I couldn't even, and then I've been away for 15 years, and I was trying to figure out people's yards and stuff. And we had these cars, it's called a data cap, but it was like a handheld computer, and it would tell you that the meter would be, it would say north side east gate. So you would know that you'd have to be on the north side of the house. The meter was on the north side of the house, but you had to go through the east gate to get to it. And we were supposed to read a meter a minute. And most of the time, actually, once you get your groove on and stuff, but you basically you're getting into a yard, battling dogs, reading the meter, punching it in, and then getting back out in the yard and at the next meter within a minute. And except for some routes that we had in North Tulsa where like the gates are wired shut and it's full of pit bulls and all that other stuff, they compensated for that. They understood that there were some yards you just couldn't do, but even then you were reading 50 minutes meters an hour instead of 60. And then when you read in South Tulsa, I don't know. I think the most I could read, because if a meter was on the side of the garage and it was not, there was no gate in place, you could read 140 meters an hour, and certainly that for when you're in an apartment complex. One way or another, I really enjoyed that job. I was doing it at certain times of the year. It was I think I had started in fall and had worked at it all throughout the winter, and so you were out there in kind of cold weather and stuff too. That I have lots of stories as a meter reader, but the problem I had was because we were outdoors and uh the boots that we had to wear had to have steel shanked boots, which means that the sole of the foot had to be steel so that if you stepped on something that would penetrate the bottom of your shoe, it wouldn't get into your foot. And walking in 10 or 15 miles a day in these steel shank boots that did not allow my foot to flex, I did terrible, terrible, terrible damage to my feet. Um, I had developed acute plantar fasciitis and ended up not being able to do the job at all after just a few months. And was that yeah, that's just a long story, but it ruined my feet pretty bad. And even though I'm on the farm now and I'm pretty strong, for some stupid reason, I still have a desire to be the strongest person in the room. And this is back to the aging thing. So I got feet that are messed up. I've got ankles that roll on me occasionally, even now, because I really did some damage to them too. I had to have a knee repaired several years ago. I'm getting older. I've had, you live life and you do things. And so, but even then, and I think it might have something to do with the fact that I had to raise boys most of the time as a single mom, and because I always had to do different types of jobs and stuff to put food on the table, I always want to be the toughest and the strongest person in the room, man or woman. And so I that's not a very nice thing, I guess, as a girl. I don't know, but even at gym class now, I'm not happy with myself if I'm not the toughest person in the room, and able to lift more, able to last longer, do more. I want to be as good and as tough and as proficient as the instructor in front of me. So I guess it's an ego thing or something. I don't know. And then when we got custody of Kinsey, she was 11 years old, and she immediately started having some interest in playing basketball and softball. And when we got custody of her, I don't care if I was a grandma or not, I was going to do what she needed me to do. And if she wanted to learn to play basketball, by golly, we're going down to the school and we're going to learn how to shoot, and we're going to learn how to, I helped her with the dribbling, passing, shooting, guarding, strategy, whatever. I was out there with her because I really enjoy doing that type of stuff. And then it's been the same thing with softball. Whatever she needed me to do, I was going to be out there with her. I played catch with her for hours on end, and we practiced hitting. We did all the stuff, and I was going to be out there with her and do it. And even whenever I started having trouble with I started having, at one point I was having a bad bouts of eczema, and my hands were cracked and bleeding. It didn't keep me from being out there. I had to slow down for those and stuff, but I had decided no matter what was happening, I was going to be there for. She had come from a very tough situation, and it was my job to be whatever she needed me to be. But I knew I was getting older, and I could feel it, and it was uh, it, and it got to where it scared me sometimes too, because I'd wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweats, and I would fear that I would die before I would live long enough for her to get raised. For her sake. I couldn't imagine coming from the situation she had come from and then come live with her grandma who is working hard to um build trust with her, and then I was going to die. And so I mean, I don't know. That's maybe that sounds terrible, but that's the way I feel. And she's 18 now. She just turned 18 a few weeks ago. She's a senior in high school. So basically, we're almost there. And in fact, that's probably going to be another podcast down the road talking about the transition of trying to uh, get ready to not have her in the house again. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry thinking about that. But one way or another, I was determined to be there for her. But I'm feeling my age now as I'm trying to tame our 26 acres, mostly with manual tools. I've been working on it. I think we come out here in 2011, something like that. And I basically have done a lot of the work here by myself as my husband was struggling with depression and stuff, push mower and wheelbarrow and all that other stuff. And that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like somebody has tried to take care of it with a wheelbarrow and a push mower. And I'm also trying to we bought a house for $1,500. It's an old trailer house. And I've been trying to put it together. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. Right now, if you look at my grandma's homestead YouTube channel, you can see I'm trying to do trim still, and in the bathroom still. So I don't know. Things have been taking me too long, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, before I can even get this house livable, I'm going to be too old to have a real house that I want. I'm going to be too old to get the camper van that I want and start traveling. I'm 62. I know that's not that old, but when you think about how quickly your body deteriorates once you get into the 60s frequently, you know, by 70, which is only 8 years away, you're still there and you can still do stuff, but by then most of us have already had at least one joint replaced or something. So I am struggling with the age part of that. There are a lot of things I want to do. I have worked hard all my life. There are a lot of things I want to do. And so I have dreams. Will I live long enough to get the house? I don't know. My travel van? I don't know. See my beautiful property look like somebody actually cares? I don't know. And what's brought it home to me is the foot pain. My feet have hurt for 30 years. And then last year, the pain got pretty unbearable. I had a huge knot on the back of my heels, and just walking was very painful and stuff. Finally went to the doctor, and they said, "Lady, you've got problems." He said I had calcification all the way through my feet, and bone spurs all through my feet, and calcification on the back of my heels. So I had gone through a physical therapy trying to get it under control. The right foot responded pretty good and did well. The left foot did not. So of December of last year, I had surgery on that foot. The doctor partially disconnected. I think it was about 2/3 of the way disconnected my Achilles tendon at the foot level, cut out 2 different bone spurs, and he was supposed to cut off the calcification on the back of my heel too, but there's still a big one out there. So I don't know if he forgot or if it just didn't heal right or what the deal was. So I did have that surgery, and like I said, it's been several months and I'm still not 100%. Plus, it kicked my butt. I was taking lots of naps. I'm still struggling to get my energy back. And like I said, it's been 10 months. And I'm tired and weak. And I'm getting better for that part of it too. But every once in a while, a few weeks ago, I was actually getting despondent over the thing. Do I need to just give up on all my dreams and go on disability? And I didn't want to do that. over the years ago, I've had a couple of problems with tick bite diseases. One of them caused arthritis in every joint in my body. And every once in a while, that still flares up. It's like an autoimmune disease now or something. And I have a hip that's deteriorating rapidly. I don't mind getting old. I do mind not being able to continue to pursue my dreams. And I have worked all my life, and I would like to travel, and I would love to succeed at something, and I always fall short on that. And honestly, there is no retirement. And you think as you get older, you start thinking older. And I saw this post on Facebook, and I actually saved it because this is how I feel. There was a meme in there, and it looks like it's a older Native American woman, and the quote on it says, "I asked an elderly woman once what it was like to be old and to know what the majority of her life was now that it was behind her. She told me that she has been the same her age her entire life. She said the voice inside of her head had never aged. She has always been the same girl, her mother's daughter. She had always wondered when she would grow up and be an old woman. She said she watched her body age and her faculties dull, but the person she is inside never got tired. She never aged. She never changed. Remember, our spirits are eternal. Our souls are forever. The next time you encounter an elderly person, look at them and know they are still a child, just as you are still a child, and children will always need love, attention, and purpose." And I completely resonate with that. I have a ball doing some things. If you have ever met me in person, I'm probably a little enthusiastic, too enthusiastic in some things. I laugh, I cry, I'm loud. I don't know. I am a girl in a lot of ways, but I also see myself in the mirror. I also see the changes in my body and stuff. Do I battle aging? You bet your ass I do. I can't give up on my dreams, and neither should you. So that's my view on a battle with aging. What are your reasons for battling growing old? Give me an email at theciaellis@gmail.com. Tell me if you are. Some people, like my husband, he doesn't care if he gets old. He is what he is. But I'm fighting it. And I'm going to continue to fight it. And I'm still going to be that little girl in the post that I saw, or that the old woman that she says that she's a little girl. All right, guys. I don't know. I was going to tell you about Self-Reliance Festival, because if you end up getting to go to the Self-Reliance Festival, I'm not sure what they're doing for the dates on that. I'll have to get back onto you with that, because the one in October has already happened, and they're also wonderful. But they've grown so much that they're going to be going to a different location, and I think they're still working a few things out. But if you decide to ever go to the Self-Reliance Festival in Camden City, in Tennessee, go through my link below, and I would certainly appreciate it. It wouldn't cost you any more, and it helps support me. Where I can be found, and I didn't mark that one. I've got grandma's homestead.farm is my website. I do blogs weekly-ish, and was where I post all the things that are happening on the farm, and also what videos and podcasts that I've posted and stuff too. I also put recipes on there. My main YouTube channel is Grandma's Homestead. I have a Farm Animal Life YouTube channel, and that's just where I put a camera in a brooder or a pen with the animals and watch them in their native wild, I guess is what you say. I have Kinsey Lackey Sports YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, Rumble, all of those under some version of Thecia Ellis or Thecia E or something like that. And I've also got a Grandma's Homestead Facebook page, and that's where I post all the stuff that I do on Grandma's Homestead on my Grandma's Homestead Facebook page. All right, guys, no joke. I would love to hear how you're doing with the aging process, and I'm sure most of you are not as old as I am, or I don't know. We're all on a different journey together, but I pray that you are come up with answers that you want and need for what your life is about. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. God bless.